When he found the one, he was rejoicing. So UPC, which had less to add to, were definitely rejoicing.
How does this fit into the talk or the bid for the opposition now to unite in a bid to dislodge President Museveni? Do you think you're part of the game?
We're definitely part of the game, and we've always been part of the game, but sometimes the calculation or the thought behind it has been lacking. There have been times where there's talk of unity, but the unity is to support a party to lead the opposition, but not looking at the bigger picture. Now, since we ran a presidential election as a 50+1, personally, I don't see any grounds under which you must unite for presidential. You can consolidate at a constituency level to increase your numbers in parliament, but at presidential, the mathematics in itself, where you have to have 50+1, does not entail the need to have a single opposition candidate.
Do you want to suggest that Cecilio Guau's legacy has been erased now that UPC has taken over a constituency that has been traditionally Ogwal's?
Cecilio Guau's legacy cannot be erased because it's written within the history, and also
in Dokolo, to be specific.
That is something to be, I don't know how you put it, but Cecilio Guau, you cannot limit Cecilio Guau to Dokolo. If you look at the Hansard, Cecilio Guau's contributions are there. She has been a mentor to very many members of parliament. She's been a strong parliamentarian. Her roots in UPC, on the struggle for multipartyism, she played her role. Of course, the areas where we disagreed on the question of, especially the '96 election. So you cannot erase somebody's legacy in that context where somebody's legacy was beyond Dokolo. On the election in Dokolo, UPC has won that election, and we have no apologies to make for winning an election. We went in, we ran a clean campaign, and we're able to prevail.
Does Sarah Aguti measure up to the legislator who would step into the shoes of Cecilia? We're looking at her as a political novice.
Sarah Aguti has now an opportunity to define herself. You should not be trying to step into somebody's shoes and take over somebody's role. You should be able to come in and play your part in that context. So Sarah Aguti will bring her experience and knowledge and apply it in Dokolo. You cannot compare yourself to somebody who has maybe 20 years legislative experience to somebody who does not. You have to build on that one. You cannot start with that knowledge base. You start from where you are and you build on it. So Sarah Aguti has now got an opportunity to show herself, her abilities. And I would definitely urge her not to try to be Cecilia Guau. I want her to be Sarah Aguti, the representative of the people of
Dokolo. How serious is your bid to reclaim Lango politics and turn it red?
If you cross-check, I think we're well on the way going there. And it's not going to stop in Lango, it is going to go beyond Lango. Lango has been a starting point, but it's not an end point. So, and like I said, everything that we've learned is applicable elsewhere, and we're going to apply it. We're going to use methods of developing the skills within the team and being able to extend it. But we're not stopping in Lango.
Okay. Who is your direct rival in this case? Is it the NRM or the FDC in Lango politics? And how much grip does NRM have in Lango, for instance?
In numbers, NRM has.
Yes.
But the circumstances under which they got those numbers was, from my point of view, how we held the last election. Last election was COVID rules, meetings, and required a lot of resources. Many of my candidates do not have that sort of resources. And if you compare what we spent in Dokolo compared to possibly the other parties. I'm not sure how much NUP spent, but between FDC and NRM, they definitely spent a lot more than we did. So where we can have an open, free, energetic campaign, we're definitely going to do well. So I put other leaders on notice in Lango that we have every intention to paint it red. But I want to state very clearly we're not stopping.
But it takes deliberateness and a lot of funding, which you don't have, to dislodge the NRM from Lango.
Watch this space, we're going to dislodge them.
Are you sure?
Definitely.
When you look broadly at Lango politics, how significant is it to national politics?
It is significant because any bloc which is not in your court at the time of the general elections, it adds up. So the mathematics behind it, you can't afford to lose anything. So, but you're limiting us to Lango. Lango is where we have started from, you can say. It's a base which we have held. We've started rejuvenation from there, but we're not stopping in Lango. That I must stress, we're not stopping in Lango.
Where is UPC's footprint outside Lango?
We have councillors in various places, in the east, in Acholi, in various parts. We have had candidates, fielding candidates across board. You cannot forget that UPC's second home has always been Busheni. So all of these places we're going to visit, we're going to work on reviving, and I'm confident that we're going to be able to do a good show.
Looking at the numbers, something suggests to me that the turnout was low, and it is not a victory that you should really base on to say that you're popular.
Every by-election, if you look at the statistics of by-election, a 30% turnout in a by-election is a good turnout.
30%?
Is a good turnout for by-election. And I think the turnout was more than 30, but anything from 30 in a by-election, if you look across by-elections, turnout is never high. The stakes are not as high. And when you come to local government, it's even less. So that is a by-election. You can't wish for 70% turnout in a by-election. It rarely happens unless there's some very strong dynamics in that particular race which will bring up the turnout. But for Dokola, I think the turnout was good in the circumstance, and the competition was also good, but we were able to prevail on that one.
Well, this is a race that attracted big shots. Like traditionally it happens that the president comes, combs the place, campaigns vigorously. Would you say Akena beat President Museveni in Dokola?
At the end of the day, all the parties which presented candidates, their leaders appeared in Dokola. We were all there. As to being there consistently, I think Amuriat will be the one who was there most, and then I will be second because I had a day where I was not available. And yeah, so all.
What else?
Intimidation was not much. In this particular case, intimidation was not much. And those are part of the issues which I have been working towards, that if you can have an honest conversation, if you can have a discussion, you can reduce on this question of intimidation. Where you can be able to talk. In something which I've been working on over the years, intimidation was limited. Though, yes, we'd run into some difficulties on the voting day, where one of my members was taken to Central Police, but at the end of the day was actually no case, and there was nothing found. But yeah.
Can you use Dokola as a yardstick for future elections?
Like I said, lessons from Oyam helped us in Dokola. Lessons from Dokola will help us going forward.
Well, as we take a break, the big question remains, is UPC trying to reclaim her faded glory in recapturing, in their bid to recapture Lango from the NRM. Good morning.
Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Herbal Jelly and Herbal Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit all day confidence. For a delicious meal to light up your day or make an evening just perfect, Hotel Africana is just around the corner.
The UWASA Mega Easter Drive! Own your dream car this Easter season with the most flexible payment plan in town. Simply make a 70% down payment on your car and drive away with no worries about paying interest on the balance. That's not all. You get yourself a 20-point mechanical checkup before the car is delivered and a complimentary car wash. Visit our car bond in Nakawa or call our toll-free line 0800 111 999 or visit www.uwasatrading.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Celebrate Easter Sunday in style at Kembabazi. Indulge in a mouth-watering 5-course feast featuring a whole turkey and tantalizing regional dishes from Uganda. Immerse yourself in the lively ambience of live music, traditional dances, and fun board games for teenagers. Kids will love the special kiddie buffet with cotton candy, bouncing castles, and more. Book now for a free bottle of wine, jug of juice, or bushera. For more information, call us today.
We understand that everyone yearns for a clean, tidy, and convenient working environment. That's why 7-Star Cleaning Services, we strive to provide highly customizable cleaning solutions using environmentally friendly chemicals, state-of-the-art equipment, and well-trained workforce for our clients. We do both commercial and domestic cleaning services throughout the metropolitan areas. Visit our head office, Plot 4691, Ntinda Chisasi Road. Contact us on our official lines 0393 243 503 or visit our social media platforms. 7-Star Cleaning Services, a remarkable difference.
These holidays, you don't need to go far to find the best entertainment.
Have I got a surprise for you?
All you need to do is stay connected to DSTV.
I'm so excited.
Pick your moment of fun and share it with your family.
Oh, let's go with this shit.
Overpowering.
Pass the keeper, Jude Bellingham.
Pick the best stories and share them with your friends.
Max Verstappen wins.
Pick your moment to shine with the world's hottest stars.
Juventus get their goal.
Because it's your moment to hang out with the characters you love.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Whether you're at home or on the move, make it a holiday to remember.
This is the final round. Ain't gonna stop me now.
Because these holidays, it's your moment to enjoy the best entertainment. So get and stay connected to DSTV to enjoy every moment.
It doesn't matter what car you drive. If you use the right oil, you have the right car. Castrol, recommended by leading vehicle manufacturers worldwide. Castrol, it's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Transform your event dreams into reality with Pure Events House. Specializing in event planning and decoration, we bring art and simplicity to every function, from birthdays to weddings, baby showers, or corporate parties. Trust our dedicated team to create unforgettable memories. We also offer decoration training and hiring services. Plus, we also handle upcountry events. Find us at Newmark Mall on Chiseka Road or call us today. Pure Events House, a touch of creativity.
Welcome back. We're still talking politics with the UPC president, Honorable Jimmy Akena, just coming out of an election where he garnered a victory, but at a time where the opposition is facing a storm here and there, the rift growing within the FDC, tensions emerging within the National Unity Platform. How are you watching the political events unfolding?
I am not happy. Personally, I feel that we need strong, viable political parties. In that, in a multi-party dispensation, it's the parties which will galvanize and give a way forward. So if parties are suffering internal contradictions and are going through the problems which we are seeing, it doesn't augur well. Because ultimately we need strong, viable, organized parties. And it's something which I've been pushing for, I've been trying to work towards, that parties need to be strengthened. What we're going through is a phase which is...
Did you ever anticipate this storm, for instance, within the National Unity Platform, a force that came off as formidable and a challenger to the status quo?
Now that depends on the coherence of the party. If a party is defined on maybe a specific task, it can run into such problems. If the party has a stronger ideological underpinning, then there's something to galvanize around. So it's something which needs to be developed. The party can come from a narrower base, but be able to consolidate on larger aspirations. So it's something which NUP can still have an opportunity to develop, and I hope that they'll be able to develop some level of consensus and go forward. Because ultimately, to be able to serve the interests of the people of Uganda, we need strong, viable political parties.
Yeah, but as 2026 looms, do you find NUP and FDC the forces that you unite with to raise your numbers, to raise your stakes, or you'd rather go it alone?
I'm going to concentrate on UPC. Where UPC, we're going to be fielding candidates, I'll be supporting the candidates, and we're also going to be competing across the board. But I would wish the other parties well, and also to be able to play a role in defining our future.
Do you feel persuaded to be part of the United Forces of Change?
I've not been part of the United Forces.
Do you think it's something you would consider?
There are elements which will work, or there are elements which can be, but as far as the United Forces of Change, I have not been part of it. I've been part of the iPod, where we've been trying to come together with parties which are represented in Parliament. I've been trying to find ways of how we can consolidate on that and how to strengthen political parties. We did achieve something, we have not achieved all of it. And in this particular term, iPod has almost gone into hibernation. I can tell you honestly, iPod has almost gone into hibernation. There's only a certain element of the increased funding which was done, but there were other elements which were supposed to be added on. So at this moment, we have difficulties in iPod.
So in the iPod arrangement, who is defaulting on the promise?
There are two sides to it, that there were certain things which NRM in the chair have not fulfilled to lead us to the summit. And then we had both FDC and NUP not signing on the new memorandum Although
that was a setback, wasn't it?
It was a setback. FDC participated in developing that MOU, but they did not sign on it. NUP from the beginning just said they're not going to be part of it, but they didn't dig into what the benefits are or the pros and cons. IPOD was dismissed as something which will help the president. The truth is that IPOD, how it is geared, every party has a veto. So there's nothing which you can pass in IPOD which will undermine any political entity. So if people thought that you could use IPOD to pin the NRM, it will not work. You cannot undermine the NRM in IPOD, they have veto power. But the same way, NRM cannot undermine any political party in IPOD because you also have veto power. So nothing can pass in IPOD which is not mutually agreeable. So the only thing we can pass is things which cut across board. And that's why we're able to make some steps on consolidating or strengthening the political parties. And I think that is an area which we still need to explore. Despite these hiccups, in future we'll need to look at it, because at the end of the day, I truly feel that we need strong, viable political parties.
Yeah, but do the reservations from other players who would be actively involved in the activities of IPOD hold any water, you think?
No, because like the benefits which we negotiated, everybody's getting. NUP gets a lot of money under the arrangement which we made.
So they are dishonest?
Not dishonest. These are benefits which we are able to achieve in the negotiations which we had.
They are getting benefits, but they are not willing to sign on the memorandum.
Financially, they're getting the benefits. All parties are getting the benefits. Parties represented in Parliament get the benefits, and they got the benefits of the increased funding which we negotiated under the IPOD arrangement. There are other elements which are supposed to be consolidated, which have not yet been done, but there are definitely benefits which they have got. There are other benefits which will work, but you have to come with the mindset that in IPOD, I'm not going there to undermine DP or UPC, NRM. You're going there to see how can we work as political entities to strengthen these entities as far as the questions of governance and the future of Uganda. So you must come with that on the table to be able to achieve. That's why we were able to do so, leading from the first summit, which was taken forward by DP, and we consolidated on that one. But since then, we've run into some difficulty. But always, you can get difficulties, but you must find ways to overcome. I still believe IPOD offers avenues of conversation and sorting out particular things. The problem is we have, in the politics, we don't want to be seen to be sitting with those who you're supposed to be competing with. In some cases, if you sit with them, they say you've been bought, you've been compromised. But that does not necessarily mean the case. I can sit with you, but if we're in the competition, we'll do the competition. End of the competition, we can still shake hands.
Okay. Actually, that leads me to another question. You're getting into 2026 and you've already pronounced your bid as a contender, while at the same time, President Museveni has been endorsed as a sole candidate for 2026. Do you think there is need to review the kind of cooperation UPC is having with NRM in light of all this?
We are going to compete. I don't have a difficulty with that.
So what are the terms?
Difficulty?
What are the terms of your...
Where is the difficulty of competing?
No, I thought, given the relationship that you're having and the kind of terms which society is oblivious of.
Yeah, see, it's based on assumptions. There's no point where I can accept UPC to be in a arrangement where you cannot compete. We are going to compete. And competing
doesn't your agreement tie you on this?
No, how? How can I get in an agreement that will cripple the party? Mine is to build a party. So we're going to compete. It does not mean we have to be antagonistic. We have issues to raise.
You're building at the detriment of the other party with whom you're in bed.
No, we're competing. That is what multi-party politics is about. You compete. You can compete in a civil way, or you can do it in a very antagonistic way. I've opted for the civil. And I've gone overboard to be able to do so. And when we get a UPC victory, I'm still going to be civil to other political players.
Do you have
I'm willing to offer as much as I'm willing to put on the table, I am willing to offer to others. So I don't see a contradiction.
Formal in the agreement between UPC and the NRM, or it's just mutual?
Which restricts UPC? Nothing at all.
Is there
Which undermines
is there
UPC?
a formal
Nothing
agreement
at
of
all.
any kind that binds you with NRM?
No.
You're just mutual.
No, there's nothing binding.
So the much hyped agreement doesn't exist at all between UPC and the NRM.
You see, clearly, there has been some level of cooperation. But I must stress that level does not touch on politics or elections. It does not, and it will not. There's no way you can enter into such a relationship which does not allow you to exercise your rights. So as UPC, we're going to compete. I put myself hat in the ring that I'm going to compete. That does not mean I'm not going to sit down and talk. If I put meetings there, I'll be there, but I'm still going to compete.
Where are you best at home? Is it with the NRM or with the opposition? You seem to be...
I am based in UPC. UPC is an
you are
entity on its own right.
hobnobbing with the regime more than with the opposition.
No. I am UPC. UPC is a party in its own right. And it's free to compete. I have no antagonistic issues. I am at pains what is taking place in FDC. I'm not happy what's taking place in NUC, because my idea, my thinking is that parties need to be strong, viable entities. If not, then you're going to have this issue of, God forbid, where you get the military coming to say no because these parties are disorganized, want to step in. I don't want that for Uganda.
Where things stand, NRM seems to be organizing ahead of 2026 as parties bicker. What does this give to you? What picture does it paint of the forthcoming election? The NRM has already aligned their registration. The president has done a few changes in the reshuffle.
The truth be told, NRM has a lot of problems as a political party. Even the registration which was taking place, at least in the area where I was, did not work well. And those are issues which concern me. NRM can get away with some of this because it's a state party. It has been fused with the state for a long time and is able to use mechanism of the state to be able to cover up some of its weaknesses. We need viable parties outside of the state. You have a situation where NRM is not in government. I don't know how long NRM will be able to stand on its 2 feet. There are so many things which will not be able to take place. NRM is only able to do so as a state party. Now, that does not augur well. That is not the way you can really build a democracy. You need NRM as a viable entity in its own right. So, that is how we're able to get NRM to agree on some of the basis where we got the increased funding in iPod, because there are weaknesses which you're able to see across board. And so, your concern, NRM is steps ahead. Yes, NRM have made some steps, but there are problems with those steps. I think you can check across the board, the registration did not go well. The registration which they were trying to do across the country, it did not go well. In most places, it did not go well. And that sends a signal that is NRM as an entity viable. Now, on another side, you find NRM officers very active during election period. After that, they disappear. Many of them get closed. A few you'll find where you find maybe party leaders have got a building which they've given to NRM to use as an office. We also have it within the party doing that. But the parties are not consistent. There are certain activities which take place only during election time, which should not be the case. On real organized political parties, there are issues which take place. Policy development. One key element is policy development. Let us have a serious debate on how we're going to deal with the education question. One of the issues we were really discussing in Dokolo, when you look at the numbers of those kids who passed, whether it was PLE, UCE, it's dismal. The gap between urban and rural is getting worse and worse. Now, you're seeing kids whose future is completely locked And how are we dealing with it? Let's have a debate, seriously well thought out, well argued debate, where UPC comes with their policy position on education, let NRM come with theirs, FDC come with theirs, and let us as a country benefit out of that serious debate at a quality level, not just what comes from the top of the head. And this touches across all key areas.
Which UPC are you representing, given the recent ruling that's hovering over your head?
Now that ruling, if you look at it,
that rendered you illegitimate.
that ruling, I would like you to please take time and read it. It had nothing to do.
They quashed your election in 2016.
That ruling, the one you're talking about of the Supreme Court, had nothing to do with what we're going through now. Now, where is this other UPC you're talking about? Where is it? Were they in Dokolo? Were they in Oyam? Are they in Parliament? Are they in any district council? Are they heading any district council?
So
I head a team where we have representatives across the board. We have LC3 chairpersons and councillors. We have LC5 chairpersons and councillors. We have constituency representatives. That is what I am leading. Not some amorphous, mythical thing which I don't know where it exists. I am leading a party which competes and which is on the ground.
There is Warubiri on the other side, who is a historic of the party, who argues that you're in office illegally and illegitimately.
Okay. Can Walubiri show me a single councillor, UPC councillor, nominated by him in elective office?
That notwithstanding.
So
the legal question remains
no. Legal question.
Legal and legitimate.
Are you creating an entity which does not exist? I have told you I have members of parliament. I'm here, you talk about Dokolo. We want Dokolo. I was on the ground in Dokolo. Where was
Probably UPC would be stronger if you were united, if there was no splinter group.
It could be, but I think the interest of the splinter groups, as you call them, is not on elections, not on the viability of the party, not on the party being competitive in the multi-party dispensation. If they were, would be together on the ground, would be building the party, constituency by constituency, council by council. But we are not. When it comes to elections, I am alone. These factions which you see in court, you see on media, they don't exist on the ground.
Because you've imposed yourself as president of the party, even after being ousted by the Supreme Court.
No, Supreme Court did not. That's why I'm saying you're getting propaganda.
No, I read the ruling.
No, you didn't read the ruling. If you read it, then you'd read something else altogether. The matter which was before the Supreme Court was we went to the Supreme Court asking for a stay of an order from the Court of Appeal.
Yes.
A stay of an order of a Court of Appeal. Now, the question before the Supreme Court was, is it possible to go to the Supreme Court without first getting leave from the Court of Appeal? And they said in the circumstances, should it, had it been heard at that time, yes, it is going to be
And
possible.
what was the matter in contention? What was the matter in contention?
The order which was about the delegates conference, which was to be held in Kasangati. So that issue is about the order on the matter of the delegates conference in Kasangati. Now, you've built a mountain over this, you've listened to the propaganda, you have missed the point. We had our delegates conference, it has been challenged, it was also dismissed in the Court of Appeal. We went to the elections, we fielded candidates, we got people elected. We are still fielding candidates. I've just come from Dokolo. Now, coming to 2026, you're going to see other people swirling around that they're leaders, but they're not ready to go to the battleground. I'm on the battleground. I'm going to compete.
Well, Honorable Akena, what a pleasure hosting you this morning, and thank you for coming to share your perspective on what Dokolo holds for the future of electoral democracy in the country. That's it from me. Have a lovely day and cheers.
Have you packed more than half a jelly?
irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Herbal Jelly and Herbal Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit all day confidence.
These holidays, you don't need to go far to find the best entertainment.
Have I got a surprise for you?
All you need to do is stay connected to DSTV.
I'm so excited.
Pick your moment of fun and share it with your family.
Oh, let's go with this shit.
Overpowering.
Past the keeper, Jude Bellingham.
Pick the best stories and share them with your friends.
Max Verstappen wins.
Pick your moment to shine with the world's hottest stars.
Juventus get their goal. Alert!
Because it's your moment to hang out with the characters you love.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Whether you're at home or on the move, make it a holiday to remember.
This is the final round. Ain't gonna stop me now.
Because these holidays, it's your moment to enjoy the best entertainment. So get and stay connected to DSTV to enjoy every moment.
In our unwavering commitment to environmental sustainability, Next Media has consistently demonstrated leadership and innovation. Our journey in partnership with like-minded stakeholders began with Tuveka Vela campaign in 2018, dedicated to eliminating single-use plastic. Evolving from this, we launched the broader Taso Butonde initiative, expanding our collaboration and intensifying our efforts to combat plastic waste through recycle, reduce, and reuse principles. As Next Media celebrates 15 Inc.,